I'm Mark Cornell. I am a local writer, and I run a writing group at Moonlight Stage in Raleigh. Many of you all been. Heather has been there. Susie has been there. Yes, Laura, that's right. Laura has been there. What can I say about me? Oh, the script, yes, it's called One Muzo Emerald. I started it about 10 years ago and put it off for the last 9.5 years in the hopes of someday finishing it and making it. That's my story. I'm sure the other writers have very similar stories. Mark Jansen is going to come up and read in it with Heather and Susie, and we can do that now. One Muzo Emerald. Mark Cornell. That's based on a true story. It's not based on a true story. Fade in. A face, stark, dirty. It's a woman, middle-aged, in profile, head resting on the ground, hair tangled, lips parted, eyes glazed over, almost lifeless. Her breath goes in and out, steady, measured. As we move in on one eye, we cut to exterior road, day, a tire spinning fast. We hear the roar of an engine. Interior pickup truck, day. A man in a sloppy old black suit is behind the steering wheel, weeping wildly. He's brokenhearted, angry. He finishes a can of beer and slings it against the passenger door. His hand is stained with blood. Half panicked, he looks in his mirrors and then over his shoulder as if someone is following him, but nothing is behind him. Suddenly he is overcome with pain. He chokes and clutches at his popped white shirt, which we now see is soaked with blood. Exterior road. The truck, an old Chevy, is alone on a winding rural two-laner, nothing but trees seemingly for miles. It's fall and the world is in glorious colors. The truck veers into the other lane, then onto the shoulder, then back across the dotted white line. Empty beer cans slide around in the truck bed. Interior pickup truck. Fading from the blood loss, the man can't keep the truck straight. Exterior road. The truck slowly slides into the opposite lane again. Ahead, a semi-truck. It barrels down the road. Its horn blares. Interior pickup truck. The man is looking over his shoulder again behind him. When he turns back, he sees the semi. His eyes blaze. He jerks the wheel. Exterior road. As the semi rumbles past, the pickup truck swerves off the road, down a driveway, crushing brush and just barely missing the mailbox, which is overstuffed and spilling with mail. Interior pickup truck. A man fights to steady the wayward truck. Exterior driveway. The driveway narrows and the truck slides. A pile of trash bags suddenly appears. Interior pickup truck. The man pulls the wheel hard. Exterior driveway. The truck lunges into the woods, coming to a sudden stop at a bank of ivy and bushes out of sight. Interior pickup truck. The man slowly pushes the door open, moaning in pain. As he gets out, he turns back and grabs from the other end of the bucket seat a canister of Quaker Oats.
Help! Somebody!
He staggers in the weeds. One arm dangles lifeless. His chest is a bloody mess. His steps shorten, his feet drag. Short of the driveway, he falls to his knees. Then drops, chest first to the ground. He moans, fighting to the end. He claws the ground, pulling himself forward. He looks ahead to see a small, dilapidated farmhouse. The man starts to reach up. One hand gasps, collapses. The oak can spills. Out of it pours pennies. Interior farmhouse, day. We move across a cluttered living room. Clothes, newspapers, food, all the plants are dead. We pass many framed photographs of a man and a woman. Closing in on one, we see that the woman is the same as the one from the opening of the film. The man, oddly, is Brad Pitt. On the couch, under a cheap blanket, this same woman sleeps, twisted and messy. Her name is Sarah Walters. She's mid-40s, but looks older, worn out, defeated. The phone rings. She stirs, rolls over, stares up at nothing. Ignores the phone. We hear a machine grab it. This is Sarah. Leave a message. The phone goes to a dial tone. Interior kitchen. Moments later, Sarah shuffles in wearing crooked glasses, secondhand mismatched clothes. She opens the fridge and stares in at emptiness. She blinks, looks hopeless, then closes the door. At the answer machine, she reads 23 messages. She pushes a button, holds, deletes them all. Interior bathroom, night. This is why it's taken 10 years to finish, because I keep rewriting. Interior bathroom, night. In the darkness, a single candle glows softly on Sarah in a bubble bath. Interior bathroom, morning. Sarah is asleep in the tub. From the kitchen, the phone rings again. It startles her awake. Cold, she shivers. Interior bedroom, day. Sarah sits on the bed, looking around the room. She seems to be sinking into the bed. Her face is low. We see what she sees, which is open drawers, clothes running free, ugly jewelry tossed about. Then the closet door, where an open lock hangs. On the rug in front of the closet door, a Marilyn Monroe Halloween mask. Flashback, slow, dreamy. Sarah's husband, Bruce, around 50 and drunk, forces the Marilyn Monroe mask over Sarah's face. He then angrily shoves her into the closet and locks the door.
Come out when you get pretty.
Present time, Sarah turns to a pile of mail on the bed. She finds Publishers Clearinghouse. Exterior front yard, day. Stamped reply in hand. She crosses the dead grass and follows the driveway towards the main road. Exterior driveway, moments later, walking, she's harassed by buzzing flies. Waving in them, she drops her clearinghouse letter. She stops to pick it up and sees, in the brush, the Ford truck. She gets a smell of something bad. She peers and sees the body.
Hello.
Interior kitchen, day. Sarah panicked on the phone.
Are you in any danger, ma'am?
No, just please hurry. I don't know what to do.
Stay where you are, ma'am. Sheriff's Department and paramedics are on their way.
Exterior driveway, day. Sarah paces, scared. She hums, What a Wonderful World. She looks at the body, looks away, looks at the body, looks away. Finally, she sees something near the man's hand that catches her eye. Something small, a twinkle of light, some color. She can't make it out. She gets curious and goes over, carefully, nervous. By the body, the Quaker Oats can, tipped over. Something is buried in the pennies. Sarah reaches down and picks it up. It's a ring, antique, with one huge, brilliant, square emerald set in platinum, surrounded by 24 diamonds. She is mesmerized by it. Morbidly, she tries it on, looks at it, longingly. She smiles, tries to take it off. Gets stuck, she pulls. She gets it. She considers. Hard. She looks in all directions to see if anyone by chance has seen her. Interior bathroom, Sarah stands at the mirror with the ring on. She looks at herself, smiles as if empowered, touches her hair. Exterior, by the body, day. Sarah scoops the pennies into the oats can. Exterior, backyard, day. Sarah frantically digs a hole with an old spade. She grabs the open oats can, spilling a few pennies, looks longingly at the ring once more, then drops the ring into the hole, stuffs the lid on the can and pushes the can down into the hole and quickly buries it. As she stands, very dirty, she hears sirens. Interior living room, day. A photograph, face down. Through the windows, we see the commotion of sheriff's deputies in the coroner's office outside. On the couch sits Sheriff Joe Gums, 60s. He's exhausted, bitter, on edge. He's a man just trying to hold it all together. In his hands is a vial of pills, which he opens. Still dirty from digging, Sarah steps in and gives him a glass of water.
I should have been a math teacher like my next-door neighbor.
Sarah sits. Without looking at her, Gums takes with the water every pill in the vial.
Short hours, summers off, birthday bashes in the teacher's lounge. Sleeping for him is easy. Up an algebra equation, nobody gets butchered. Me? Well, he lives a good goddamn life. Me, on the other hand, I can't even keep a meal down. My blood pressure is off the charts. My liver is soaking. I'm surrounded by maniacs, ugliness. I haven't had a day off in 4 years. It's too much. And for what? For my father, whose dream was for me to become a lone man. So here I am, all for him, while he withers in my house, in my bed. And every day when I come home, he thanks me for making him proud. 6 months to live is now 6 years. I'm trapped, like a mouse in a cage.
That must be hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
They look at each other a moment. This is the first time he's looked at her in all the time that he's been there. Comes, pockets the empty vial.
So, when did you discover the body?
I guess about an hour ago.
It's been out there a hell of a lot longer than that. You just now noticed it.
I was sleeping. I've been out of sorts. I recently lost my husband.
I'm sorry.
He wandered drunk into the road and a beer Weiser truck split him in half.
Are you with me?
No.
Please, don't with me. I get very upset and it gnaws on me. And my stomach bleeds. And then I have to go to the hospital.
I'm telling you the truth.
Come notices the photograph face down, and then all the other photographs too, all face down.
What's with the photographs?
My husband.
You have kids? So it's just you, alone. And you don't know our man out front, or why he drove up your driveway, or got out and tried to get to your door.
No, sheriff comes.
Listen, Sarah, I'm right at the precipice of a abyss. Do you understand? If you can help me solve this case, it would make things easier. A few less meds I might have to ingest. Maybe I'll get some sleep tonight and not fantasize about shooting myself in the head.
I don't know anything.
Wonderful. I'm going to be shitting blood by the time this case is done.
He looks down at her clothes, dirty.
You said you were asleep when you found him. Why would you sleep in dirty clothes?
Oh, I was gardening before that. I forgot to take them off.
Please don't lie to me, Sarah.
I'm not.
I don't know what I hate more about this job, the brutality or the lying. So please don't lie to me.
I'm not lying. Sheriff comes.
Sarah, listen. You stuttered. You very clearly stuttered when I asked you about your clothes. I don't know why you would stutter such an innocent question, but you did. And wow, that raises all kinds of suspicions. I had zero suspicions until you went, I was, and not. And now I'm thinking all kinds of crazy things. Like, for example, is it possible you were the one who killed him?
I didn't kill him, Sheriff Gump. I called you, remember? Why would I kill him and then call 911?
I have no idea. Why would you?
I wouldn't.
Then why would you stutter at that moment, and that moment only?
I don't know.
We'll find out who this guy is. We'll contact his family. Let them know what happened. For your sake, I really hope that they have no idea who you are, because, you see, if they give me so much as a whiff of familiarity, I will have no choice but to come right back here.
I don't know why you're being so mean to me.
Okay. Take it easy.
Please stop being mean, please.
All right, I'm sorry.
She takes off her glasses, wipes her eyes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You gonna be okay?
I don't know.
What's your glasses right now?
I can't handle somebody being mean to me right now.
I'm not usually mean. I swear, I just don't feel well.
I'm sorry for crying.
I don't blame you for crying.
You don't.
Believe me, there are many, many days I feel like crying too. But I don't, because I'm just too goddamn tired.
Oh my God. I feel the exact same way. All the time.
Some days I don't even feel like getting out of bed. Thanks for the water, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Interior living room night. Sarah gently closes the door, leans against it, locks it. Through the window, she sees the car lights turning, leaving. She sees Gums go to his car. She watches him, half smiling. Exterior house night. Gums reaches for his car door, then turns to the house, and he sees Sarah looking at him through the window. She steps away from the window quickly so as not to be seen. He half smiles, then he gets in his car and follows the others out. Interior living room. Sarah, her back against the door. She breathes slowly and looks out again as Gum's car, the last in a row, leaves. She smiles to herself, and then suddenly everything changes. She rushes into the kitchen. She fishes through junk to find her keys. Grabbing them, she dashes out to the backyard. Exterior backyard night. Sarah gets halfway towards the buried ring, stops, thinks. Interior, Sarah's bedroom. Moments later, Sarah pulls an old suitcase from the closet and tosses in clothes and other personal items. Then closing the suitcase, she dashes back down the hallway and charges into the kitchen, heading towards the back door again. But she slips on one of the framed photographs, half hidden on the floor, falls. Her glasses dismount, the keys fly, the suitcase tumbles away and opens, and her head smashes against the floor. She is out.
Exterior, farmhouse, dawn. The sun peeks through the trees. The house sits, dead quiet. Interior, kitchen, day. Sarah, still out. The phone rings. On the last ring, Sarah chokes, wakes, gets to her knees, groggy, finds her glasses. The machine picks up. "This is Sarah. Leave a message." The phone goes to dial tone, then stops. Suddenly, she becomes aware of music, faint, Mozart.
You have any strawberry jam?
Startled, Sarah grasps and crawls from the voice. A man sits at the kitchen table eating toast and sipping orange juice. His name is York Zell, mid-30s. He's in a nice, slightly disheveled suit that's stained with blood. The music is coming from a small radio on the table.
Do you have any strawberry jam, Sarah? My mother always gave us strawberry jam with our toast.
Who are you?
I want some jam! Sorry, I'm hungry. I've been up for 2 nights. I haven't been home. My mother's dead. Just tell me where the jam is.
What?
The jam, goddammit! Strawberry f***ing jam!
I don't have any strawberry jam. I don't have any jam. I have honey in the cupboard.
Disappointing me already.
He rises and searches in the cupboards. She looks at him, looks at the back door, looks at her keys, looks at him, looks at the back door. He finds the honey. Getting to her feet, she lunges for her keys, misses, falls. He's on her. He lifts her up by her hair.
What are you doing? Are you trying to leave? Are you trying to leave?
And pushes her into the chair. He grabs the other chair and drags it around in front of her, pinning her up to the wall. He sits, facing her.
You're ruining my breakfast.
Are you the police?
York laughs a little.
Do I look like the police? My name is York. I'm the brother of the found in front of your house. Well, half-brother.
He loads his toast with honey.
I didn't kill it.
Yes, I know that. I killed him with a fountain pen. We had a little fight. He got away and came here and died. And out of all the driveways in the world, he chose yours.
I didn't know him.
Right.
He eats.
I have to tell you, the photos are a little weird.
He grabs one from the table. We see it, close. A cutout of Brad Pitt's face has been glued over the face of her husband.
You and Brad Pitt? I don't think so.
He drops the photo.
You make me sad. This place makes me sad. Even the plants are dead.
She says nothing.
Then there's the answering machine, which is really sad because no happy person has an answering machine these days, but you do, and what's even sadder are the messages on it.
Reaching, he presses a button on the machine.
Sarah, hi. This is Tammy. I heard you got fired at the flower shop and...
He presses a button.
Hello, this is American Mortgage calling about the situation with the house.
He presses a button.
Honey, Grandma, if you don't visit me soon, I'm going to waste away into nothing and...
He presses another button. Silence.
World's fallen apart for you, hasn't it? Makes me think you and my brother, well, half-brother, we're going to run away together with my mother's very valuable engagement ring with one Muzo Emerald, an heirloom of great sentimental value and monetary one that belonged to my mother. Where is it, Sarah?
She says nothing. He slaps her hard. Her glasses fly. The pain is immense. She covers her face.
You want to scream? Go ahead. Ah! There's no one out here. You of all people should know that.
Please don't hurt me.
You know what hurts? What my brother did. Well, half-brother. He got left out of the will and should have been left out of the will, but he got upset about it and swiped my mother's engagement ring at her funeral, took it off her finger, took off her finger.
From his coat pocket, he retrieves a baggie. In it is a finger. He shows her the finger.
This finger. He desecrated my mother! I loved my mother. She was an angel.
York bites off his emotion and then smiles, putting the baggie back into the coat pocket.
Were you running away with my brother?
I don't know why he came here. I didn't know him.
Right.
He moves in close to her, smiles a creepy smile.
You are kind of pretty without your glasses.
He puts his hand on her knee. He then finger walks up her leg, up her torso, and then snatches her neck.
Do you have my mother's ring?
She grabs the photo of her and Brad Pitt and smashes it against the side of his head. In shock, he releases his grip. She hits him again with the plate of toast, hard. She lurches out of the chair. This time she snatches the keys. Slinging open the back door, she throws herself into the backyard. Exterior, backyard, day. Sarah gets 10 steps off the porch, heading toward her car, but she changes her mind and changes directions, running toward the buried ring. Suddenly, she is tackled by York. They wrestle.
No! No! No!
He strikes her. She strikes back. She kicks him. She squirms away. He snags her leg, brings her down.
You stupid, sad little...
She claws at his eyes, gets one. He screams. He swings at her, misses. She gets free, tries to get up. He grabs her a third time, pulls her down. They fight. He is winning. She throws dirt in his face, gets to her knees, crawls away. She lands on the dirt mound where she buried the ring. He jumps on her. He sees pennies in the dirt. He knows. He grabs her head and lifts it up and slams it under the ground. Over and over.
You stole my mommy's ring! You stole my mommy's ring! You stole my mommy's ring!
She consciousness. From his pant pocket, York fishes out an orange pen, a pen dried with blood. He lifts it to stab Sarah. She fumbles for the spade. She gets it and buries it in his ribs. He grasps, he spikes the earth with the pen, just missing her face, which turns away. Close on the pen, the spine says Lakeside Funeral Home. On York, gasping, he falls on top of Sarah. She grabs his head and forces him off her. She gets on top of him and pushes the spade further and further. He goes limp. She rolls over on her back. What we see now is the image of her from the opening. Her face stark, head resting on the ground, lips parted, hair tangled, eyes glazed over, almost lifeless. Her breath goes in and out, steady, measured.
Interior Sheriff's Office day. Sheriff Gomes at his desk. He's scribbling mindlessly on a notepad. In the center of it, he's written the words, "That must be hard." Deputy Martin, middle-aged and lackluster, pokes his head in.
What did she say? Her husband got hit by a truck?
Gomes looks up.
Something like that.
We never got a call on that. We do have a file on him, Bruce Walters. I've been out to that place once.
Martin hands Gomes a file. With it is a photo of Sarah's husband. He has a fat head and a ponytail.
He wasn't exactly Mr. Nice.
Gomes looks at the phone. Interior Sarah's house day. The phone springs to life. Interior Sheriff's Office day. Gomes on the phone. Ring, ring, ring. Exterior Country Road day. A plain, tan sheriff sedan alone on a rural road in the pines. Interior tan day. Gomes driving on the phone with Martin.
Got a name on the car from the dead guy, Sheriff. Followed up. Got a hell of a story. I think we know what all those holes were peppering his body. Whole thing started at a funeral. Something about a well-liked ring. We didn't find any ring on him.
Think this landing spot was random?
Who knows?
Exterior of Sarah's front yard. A few minutes later, Gomes' tan sedan arrives. Gomes steps out, and he notices an old black Mercedes half hidden in the brush. Gomes gets out his gun. He goes to the door. The door has been kicked open.
Okay, here we go.
Interior living room. Moments later, Gomes enters. He looks amid the squalor. Nothing catches his eye.
Sarah!
Interior kitchen day. Sheriff Gomes bends to a broken photograph where Brad Pitt's pasted face is curled slightly. Gomes pulls at the corner, revealing Sarah's husband, Bruce, underneath. He looks at Sarah, bright, young, and beautiful, without pain and heartache. He looks at her a long time. Gomes stands, sees something through the kitchen window, and he peers out, seeing York, bloody, but sitting up. Exterior backyard. Moments later, on the bloody spade, we hear approaching footsteps. A man kneels. It's Sheriff Gomes. He looks down at the spade and where York had been lying, but is no longer there. Blood pools in the dirt. He turns to a hole where the emerald ring was buried. Pennies everywhere. A crushed and empty can of Quaker Oats. He reaches down and fingers a second hole, tiny. It's where the pen had been plugged. Gomes stands, turns, spots a trail of blood headed towards the front of the house.
Better and better and better.
He follows. Just then, the ping-ping sound of a car starting. The Mercedes. Exterior front yard. Moments later, hurrying into the yard, Gomes spots the Mercedes turning up the driveway to the road. He jumps into his car. Interior Gomes' car. Day. Gomes reaches for the car radio. The radio is shattered. He shoves his keys into the ignition, reaches for the shift, fumbles the empty space, looks, touches the hole in the steering column. On the floor, the handle broken off, unusable. Moving quickly, Gomes pushes his way out of the car. Exterior front yard. Day. The Mercedes squeals into the road. Gomes gives chase on foot through the woods to cut him off. Interior woods. Moments later, Gomes in full sprint. He's out of shape and he struggles, but he's determined. Exterior road. The Mercedes picking up speed. Interior woods. Exterior woods. Gomes loses steam. He falls. Gomes gets to his knees.
God damn it.
Exterior road. The Mercedes slows. Interior Mercedes. York, bloody eye, bleeding side, turning his head to the woods and looks at Gomes, emotionless. Exterior woods. Gums looks back at him, helpless. On the road, York turns away and Mercedes rolls on. Interior, Sarah's Volkswagen. Night. It's later that night. Sarah, behind the wheel of her parked bug on the side of the highway. Looking through the windshield, she is looking up at two freeway signs. One says I-95 South, Fayetteville, Savannah, Georgia, and the other sign says I-95 North, Rocky Mount, Richmond, Virginia. Sarah puts her right hand on the steering wheel, revealing her ring finger, the emerald ring. She smiles. Blackout.